So now, Reto, enlighten us. Please tell us why it is so important to apply behavioral economics in product management.
Thank you, Michael. I have to step out of the light to see all of you. I'm so excited to see a crowded house here today after being 2 years in front of screen and speaking to a screen. It's a great moment. That was the part where I tried to be sympathetic. Now it's going to change a little bit. So if our perception about our clients is wrong, we build bad products. I'm going to show you what I mean when I say that. Here you can see the sales figures, January 8 compared with January 9 of car companies in the United States. As you may know, it was when the mortgage crisis in the US was at its climax. As you can see, all the companies faced huge drops of sales. Also, they offered high discounts, low leasing rates, and cashbacks for the old car. Their perception about their clients based on standard economics that taught them and tells us since many decades that if you lower the price, the demand will rise. But nothing happened. By the very same time, Hyundai chose another approach by using the insights of behavioral economics. So their perception about their clients was based on a more accurate model than the Homo economicus. They knew that lowering the price could not solve the underlying problem of their clients. And the underlying problems of their clients was loss aversion. They feared losses. Why? They were all afraid of losing their jobs or houses or both. And they didn't want to fulfill another obligation, no matter how big the discounts were. So what Hyundai did was to create an offer that solved that problem. Their clients were allowed to return the car unconditionally at any time without any restrictions. And what happened? Sales figures increased immediately. And believe me or not, only a handful of cars in the whole US were returned. So from this eye-opening example, we can learn a lot. But before we go deeper into the subject, we want briefly to take a look about your perception, about yourself, your clients, and the world per se. Only if we understand how we decide and realize how good or how bad our perceptions fit the reality, we will be able to become better decision maker and at the end, better product manager. So therefore, we have some experiments here with you, and as a warm-up exercise, we want to try with you the first question, which is, how rational do you are? Who thinks he or she is rather rational? Please raise your hand. Oh, Jesus. I would say it's about 80%. You correct me if I'm wrong. Let's keep that figure in mind. This is going to be funny. Well, here you can see two inner circles, and I'm asking you which of those circles is bigger than the other. Who goes for the left one? Some. And who goes for the right one? Nobody. Well, one. Okay. Maybe you already know this so-called Ebbinghaus effect. And then you consciously know that they are both exactly the same. As soon as I add the red lines, everyone else also realizes that they are exactly the same. But when I remove the red lines, we suddenly intuitively believe again that this can't be. In our brain happens, left one is bigger. Fuck! No, they are all the same. And when I repeat it, the left one is bigger. Fuck! No, they are exactly the same. From this tiny example, we can learn a lot about us. First, consciousness and intuition often lead to different decisions. Second, intuitive decisions are more fun. And first, and not less important, when we make decisions, they almost in every case rely on the context. Respectively, reference points. And the reference points in this case are the circles around the inner circles and not the inner circle per se. That means to design a good product means also designing the context in which your client should decide. What that means is Michael going to show you later on. Let's play lottery. Which number series you would bet on? Who goes for A? Raise your hand. Okay, about 70%. Who goes for B? About 30%. Perfect. Well, most of the people ask these questions tell me they want to have Series A. And I really wonder why. Who said A? Please raise your hand again. Why did you choose A?
Because I kind of bet on these numbers before.
Yeah. You gave a bet on this?
Yeah.
Oh. I never got such an answer. Great, thank you. Oh, I have to return you the mic. Perfect. But I like the way you think. Well, most of the people say A because it looks more irregular and coincidentally, right? But statistic doesn't care about the numbers and the ball machine either. From a statistical point of view, these both series have the absolute same probability. It would be even better to bet on B, because very rarely people would choose this series. And you don't have to divide if you win with another person. So it's empirically proven that we are quite bad in number statistics and probability, and our decisions often lead to wrong decisions. How you can use this fact in product management will be shown by Michael in a few minutes. I have another example for you. Maybe you know this already. It's a famous test used all over the world. It's called the cognitive reflection test. Part of it. You have a tennis racket and a tennis ball. They cost together 110. If the tennis racket costs 1 more than the ball, how much costs the ball then? Is that 20 cents? Is that 5 cents? Or is it 10 cents? Who goes for 20 cents? Okay. Who goes for 5? 20%, 30%? Who goes for C? Almost alike. Perfect. You may already know this example, and everyone who was choosing 10 cents was caught in a trap. This trap is called availability heuristics. It's only one of many, many shortcuts we use because we don't like to think. The availability heuristic says a good choice is the choice that is easy available. And in this example, 10 cents is very easy available. But it's wrong. The correct answer would be 5 cents. For those who don't believe me, here's the calculation. So this is only one pattern behavioral economics elaborated. There are about 250 patterns. And you can be very glad we have so little time today. Otherwise, we would test some more with you. But what is important now, you learned till now that A, our decisions are not that rational, and B, it seems like I know the answer of you in the tendency in advance. But that's not magic. That's just science. Figure out, I wanted you to sell the product 10 cents. Knowing your decision pattern, availability heuristics, made it possible that you go for the 10 cents. Imagine we wanted you to sell you 5 cents. Then we would have offered you the following decision situation. And I would bet no one of you would have said 10 cents, right? So who is the master about your decision? And exactly now, you realize the most important thing about behavioral economics. We can design the decision of our recipient, aka client, when we know the decision patterns. And if you have any questions, just interrupt me. So, we asked you at the beginning about your ability about decision making. And we saw with some experience we made that probably our perception about our ability in decision making is not that accurate or not that good as we thought. I'm asking this question a lot, and here you can see the results with 500 Swiss entrepreneurs. When I ask them, how rational are your clients? They say 46% of them say my clients are rather rational. When I ask them about their employees, almost alike. And when I ask them about themselves, suddenly 62% think they are rather rational. And when I remember correctly, you guys were about 80% today. But look, that can't be. In the perspective of others, we are clients and employees too. And would be declared by them only in 46% of the cases to be rather rational, right? So the difference here is good elaborated by the behavioral economists. It's called overconfidence. And overconfidence is a blind spot. We just don't know that we have much room for improvement, and our decisions keep on relying on bad perceptions that limits us, our capabilities. But we are going to change this today together. And let me summarize before Michael is going to show you how and why to implement behavioral economics in product management. Please take with you, we are overconfident, and reference determine our decisions, and not always the product itself. We are weak in numbers and statistics, and we use heuristics to avoid thinking. And most of all, our decisions follow pattern. They are predictable and therefore designable.